So you're thinking about making a move to Columbus. Great choice. But let's be real, there are things that no one tells you about when you're making a move here. Where to live, and most importantly, where not to. What the traffic is really like. The weather realities that no one prepares you for. And the one thing that locals regret the most when they're making a move here, involving this. And listen, if you're not prepared, you're gonna make these same mistakes that thousands of people make every single year. So let's talk about what you need to know before moving to Columbus. Listen, if you Google what it's like to live in Columbus, Ohio, you're gonna get the same generic, boring answers. Affordability, growing job markets, and great for families, but here's the reality. Some areas are no longer affordable. The traffic is brutal. The weather might shock you, and honestly, if you don't plan ahead, you might end up in an area that you don't like. Everyone says that Columbus is cheap, right? Well, that's changing fast. You see, home prices are growing fast. Some areas have seen almost a 10 to 20% appreciation year to year, and certain neighborhoods cannot use the term affordable anymore. And that's exactly what happened to Michael. You see, he was coming here for a job. He had less than 30 days to find a home, but he couldn't. At least not in the neighborhoods that he was looking in. And we looked and looked and looked, but that's the issue. Our sense of affordability is a misnomer. And on top of this, our actual inventory levels is low. You see, people want to come to Columbus because Columbus is Columbus. But what they don't know is everyone knows this. Everyone wants to invest. Whether it be a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or a family looking to settle down, everyone's coming here. That's driving up the affordability downwards. And this is backed up by data. You see, compared to 2020, our median cost has gone up so much more. Take Grandview Heights, for example. In 2020, our median cost of a home was around $400,000. Now, in 2025 and 2024, it was $515,000. In places like Worthington, it was around $290,000. Now it's above $380,000. And even in places like Franklinton, where the average median cost of a home used to be around $180,000, it's gone up $100,000. Here's a pro tip. If you're thinking about moving to Columbus, Ohio, and you think you're gonna find a house for $200,000, think again. But here's an insider secret that no one's willing to tell you. All you gotta do is look a little bit outside the area. What do I mean by this? Places like Reynoldsburg and Grove City, well, they still have homes on the cheaper end. And honestly, Reynoldsburg is where my family lives. That's where most of my community actually exists. And I prefer going to Reynoldsburg and the environments and the activities that exist there compared to downtown Columbus sometimes. Affordability is a challenge, and if you're thinking about making a move, obviously the numbers are gonna be a massive factor. But let me tell you something. There's still affordable homes. You just need to make sure you're working with the right agent and the right partners to ultimately make sure you know exactly where to look. We love making these videos, but we'd love the opportunity to help you on this move. If you're thinking about making a move to Columbus, Ohio, whether that be 9 days or 90 days, maybe even a year from now, we'd love the opportunity to help you on that journey. All of our information is in the descriptions below. We'd love to chat, really just answer any questions as well. I promise, it's not a bother. All right, and I'm taking this as a promise. Yes, this is a promise for you and me. All right, cool. Talk to you soon. One of the reasons that I decided to become an entrepreneur is because I hate the 9-to-5 grind. Specifically, I hate the traffic that it takes from getting to point A to point B from 9 to 5. And that's the annoyance of it, because right now in Columbus, traffic has gotten so bad that it feels like a 9-to-5 all 24 hours throughout the day. Yeah, it's bad. But it's not just bad in specific locations either. I-70, I-71, and I-270 are absolutely horrendous. And especially as more and more homes get developed in places like Hilliard, more projects come to be from Google, Amazon, Intel, and the whole shebang, more people are gonna come here. And our infrastructure, well, it just hasn't met the demand that we've had yet. Now, Columbus isn't LA or New York City, but don't be fooled by my clown hat, because they're still bad. Really bad, especially if you compare them to other Midwestern areas. The I-270 loop, especially during rush hour, is a nightmare. US 23 and I-70 South, constant construction. And if you live in places like Dublin, Hilliard, or Westerville, expect longer commutes. And especially when we're talking about the Route 23, I'm gonna share you screenshots from my comment section on my Instagram. You should see it like right around here. But here's what they're saying. All they want is another lane, but this now is turned into a $2 billion project. That's gonna cost people a lot. And you know what? I'm gonna put my phone right here so you can just pause to read it, but that's kind of what people are saying about the entire project. And listen, that's kind of what's happening all throughout. Listen, if you're working downtown, live near a major highway, but not so close that you can actually hear the traffic. Great places for less commutes: Grandview Heights, Upper Arlington, and Italian Village. We actually have the client of ours make that move here from the west side, and they love Columbus. Their traffic, well, it's not really much of an issue because they're living in a close enough proximity to their job. They don't have to worry about those things. A lot of what we're talking about is downtown Columbus as we know it. If you can afford not to go to downtown, especially during rush hour, I would highly recommend that you don't. Listen, although this hoodie makes me look extremely lonesome, just about 2 days ago, I was in a cutoff. That's right. Our weather is that drastic and crazy, and although we are a Midwestern area, let me tell you, the weather tends to be sporadic in nature like none other. Honestly, the weather was one of the biggest shocks for us when we made that move here, and it's been a massive shock for a lot of our clients. We've told them this too. Well, I'm telling you, especially as you're listening, be careful, because we have all 4 seasons, but the days kind of just go by in and of itself, meaning that even if it's springtime, expect some colder days, and even if it's fall, expect some warmer days with it. You really don't know what you're getting, and honestly, that's kind of the fun of living here a little bit. In the wintertime, expect all 4 seasons, and I mean by day-to-day basis. And here's the other thing, Columbus gets ice storms. And some days they are a lot worse than others. You want to make sure you're prepared for the whole shebang. One of the key things, and even though we are a Midwestern area, is try to have all-wheel drive cars and tires. You want to make sure that you're safe regardlessly of your location. And well, that's the thing that you're going to have to know, especially as you're moving to Columbus. And in the summer, it gets hot and humid. You will need air conditioners. Like, that's a stupid thing to say, right? But it gets super hot here. Remember, we are a Midwestern area, and that means our temperatures, they do get up in the 90s. You want to make sure that you're insulated and you're actually cool, because the last thing we want for you is some kind of heat stroke. And honestly, tornado season is real as well. Now, we're not as bad as Dorothy in Kansas, but in the early summer or the late spring, you want to make sure you're prepared. It doesn't really happen in the locational aspect of Columbus, but in the outskirts of it here and there, we do tend to see a little bit of whirlwind. All right, so imagine that these are all the neighborhoods in Columbus. This is the one that you think you want. This is the one that you end up in. The rest of these don't really matter, but nonetheless, we still have to think about it from a few different perspectives. I'm gonna have to pick this up, aren't I? Everyone sees these glamorous videos on Instagram and TikTok about Columbus, and they actually get here and they realize a few things. Short North looks great online, but there's no parking anywhere. It's expensive, and well, prices have peaked. Downtown sounds great, it's walkable, but all it's filled with is high-end condos. And if you're thinking about parking somewhere, forget it. So the question has to be asked, right? Where will you actually like Columbus? And listen, the reason that I'm saying these locations in particularity is because that's where our clients end up. If you're thinking about making a move to Columbus, Ohio, we love making these videos. Again, I'd love the opportunity to chat with you and get you connected with our partners. These are the locations based off the lifestyle that our clients are making a move to. And I want to tell you exactly why that's the case. You should be seeing B-roll images of these locations from ourselves, our team, other places, as well as we're talking, and you'll see exactly what makes them so awesome. If you're looking to grow a family, places like Dublin, Westerville, and Worthington are the places for you. Amazing parks, fantastic schools, and overall just really strong sense of community. One of the big things for us, especially as we saw clients transition to these locations, is it's generally people with maybe a child and a child on the way, or someone that's pregnant and they're thinking about exactly where they can set up their child for the best future. These are the locations that they're going to. And you should be seeing B-roll of these active locations as we speak. Clintonville, Italian Village, and Grandview Heights are the places to go. They're super trendy, don't get me wrong, but they're a lot more livable than Short North. And if you're a first-time home buyer, well, I actually think that you're in luck. I think Columbus is still the place to go, and most first-time home buyers, especially if they're priced out at other locations, it's not here. Because these are the 3 biggest cities that I think you should look at if you're a first-time home buyer. Grove City, Gehenna, and Reynoldsburg. But they're still affordable, but they're growing fast. And if you want me to do a video on exactly where to look, comment below and I promise you I'll get that video sent over. And hey, listen, here's a key thing. A lot of our clients ask us about the safety mechanism of all these locations. And Neighborhood Scout is a fantastic website. Niche.com is another great website. But here's a key trick that we do. If we're looking at investment property, yes, us, our team, we actually just drive by the location at night. I know, sounds silly, right? But safety is that. It's what's happening when people aren't seeing it. So what's actually happening at the nighttime? Well, that's what you're gonna figure out. Drive by some of these locations. Obviously have someone with you so you're safe, but that's a really good way to figure out where actually you want to be. So what's the one thing? What's the one thing that everyone wishes they knew before they made that move here? Can I get drum rolls, please? Researching property taxes. Yes, that's the final mechanism. Columbus has some of the highest property taxes in the entire state. A $400,000 house in Franklin County, expect to pay up to $6,000, $7,000, or even more $1,000 in property taxes. And some suburbs like Dublin and New Albany have even higher property taxes because the school is so amazing. So what are the property taxes actually like? Well, all of Ohio's property taxes hover around 1.5% of the home value. In Franklin County, it's around 1.97 to about 2.2%. One of the highest in all of Ohio. In Delaware County, it's about 1.36 to about 1.75%. And in Licking County, it's about 1.25 to about 1.6%. So again, let's use the number of $400,000. What this means for you is crazy. It means an additional $600 just in property taxes a month alone. But let's use that exact same house from Franklin County and move it over to Delaware. The $400,000 house that you were paying $7,800 for now becomes only $6,000 in property taxes, nearly saving you $2,000 at the long run. Because there's 4 major things that you can actually do that I think will help you overall. Number 1 is to live in nearby counties, but not exactly there. Places like Delaware, Licking, and Pickaway, well, these are the places that you want to be. You'll still be close to Columbus, but you'll pay a less tax amount. Number 2, check for tax abatement neighborhoods. Some neighborhoods actually give you a tax break if you are willing to live there. Number 3, file for the Ohio Homestead Exemption Act. If you're over 65 or you qualify with a disability, you can actually save on the property taxes. And number 4, what my friends are doing? Well, you can actually argue against your property tax assessment. People won't tell you this, especially people that are working in the government, but you can argue against it. A buddy of mine in New York, his property taxes almost doubled. His property assessment value went up $100,000. He went to his location and said, "This is not the case, and I promise you I'll fight you on this." They dropped it about $75,000. So you do have a voice, you do have a say. It's just a matter on what you're willing to do with it. But these are the biggest things about Columbus. And honestly, here's the real kicker. Should you move to Columbus? If you love job growth, great neighborhoods, and a booming market, then yeah, Columbus is the place for you. If you're prepared for weather, traffic, and the rising costs, then yeah, I want to say this with my eyes closed, but Columbus is the place for you. But if you want a year-round sunshine, easy to navigate city, then Columbus might not be the option for you. So tell me in the comment sections below if you think Columbus is a location that you want to go to. And honestly, I actually did an entire video on what I love and what I hate about Columbus. And I'm going to put that video right here. Watch it, and I'll see you soon. Peace.